Selamat datang, welcome. Hari ini kita akan masak mie ayam. Today we're going to cook chicken noodles Indonesian style. So from Aldi, you can get mie goreng that are made in Singapore, but Singapore, this is from the Malay part of their population. So they speak Bahasa, sounds very, very much like Bahasa Indonesian. Everyone can understand each other. And the cooking is very, very similar, so very similar flavours. Or from Coles and Woolworths, you can buy Indomie. And Indomie is made in Indonesia. There's instructions on the packet that you can use for doing the mie goreng, fried noodles. But to make it a bit more nutritious and a bit more Indonesian, we're going to use the mie goreng to make mie ayam, chicken noodles. So to add to then our mie goreng, we need some green vegetables. So you could do some Asian greens to make it very Indonesian. But if you're not used to these and you're a bit shy of them, that's okay. Just use some European greens for your first time. And then you might like to try some Asian greens after that. Then you need some chicken. You start by cutting it into strips. I've used chicken thigh here, but you could use a chicken breast. Then I turn the strips over and chop them into cubes. You can buy chicken that's already diced, but their dices tend to be a bit big, I find, whereas the cubes that we cook for the Indonesian style one, the Indonesians tend to cut it up quite small, smaller than when you buy the pre-diced chicken. Now we need to have some water on a pot on the stove boiling, and then we can open up our noodles. And inside the packet, you will see that as well as the noodles, there are these sachets. These two have got liquid ingredients. This one is sambal, chili sauce, ketchup manis, sweet soy sauce. Bumbu is the a mixture of spices and flavors, and minyak, the oil. So this is flavored spiced oil. And then here we have bumbu again, so seasoning. This is a dried powdered seasoning. And here bawang goreng, so some fried onion flakes in this packet. So there's 5 different things to add at different times. The way I like to use this seasoning, some people add all of it to their noodles at the end. I like to put half of it straight onto the chicken. And then because it's quite salty, I put the other half into the boiling water that I'm cooking the noodles with. But if you like a strong salty flavour, some people add that spice straight to the noodles after they've drained the noodles from the water, and that way then all that spice sticks to the noodles. So you've got your noodles then in that boiling water with, in my case, the seasoning as well. You leave them in there for a minute, and then you add the greens, and then they all come out together after 1 more minute, so 2 minutes all together. While that's boiling away, because I don't use chili, because I'm making this for some very young children, instead I'm going to add some cracked pepper. I'm making this for my niece and nephew that are in prep and grade 2. And I'll put the chicken into some hot sizzling oil, and as I'm frying it up, I add to it this spiced oil. It's not hot chili spice, just flavoured spices for that oil to the chicken as well, and fry them all up together. Now my noodles and my greens have boiled, so I put them in a colander to drain the water off those. And then I put them in bowls, and I've arranged the greens on the side to make them look pretty. And remember, those people who like their salty things, they're adding their seasoning straight onto the noodles at this point here. Because Hazel and Julian don't have big appetites, I've just used 1 packet for both of the children. And then we add the chicken on top, that fried chicken. And then there is the ketchup manis packet, and I drizzle a little bit of that over the meal. I like to save lots for the greens, because some children sometimes find their greens a bit challenging. And the ketchup manis is nice and sweet and salty, and so it can help to make those greens extra delicious. If you like the ketchup manis, which all children do, I think, you can actually buy ketchup manis, a whole bottle of it, from the supermarket. Ketchup manis even makes kale taste good. So here are all our ingredients. Here are our mie ayam. We've just got one more final thing to add. This last sachet here called bawang goreng is the fried shallots. These are so popular in Indonesian. So this is what they look like when you take them out of the packet. And these ones go just sprinkled on the top. And you're ready to eat. Selamat makan, bon appetit. Now, I cannot tell a lie. In our house, we do tend to have the mee goreng packets as street food. My teenagers like to eat those as soon as they see them in the cupboard. And they're not terrible, but they're not particularly healthy, really. So usually if I make the noodles, I do a homemade version. So the ones that haven't been pre-fried, rather than the instant noodles, the noodles that just take a wee bit longer to use. Indonesians use a big variety: rice, vermicelli noodles, wheat noodles, egg noodles. So choose your favourite sort of noodles. And then instead of the packet mix of seasoning, you can have salt, pepper, some ground up coriander seed, garlic, onion. We tend to use the large onions. I've got a red onion here. The large brown onions in Indonesia would be bawang bombay. So I imagine that must have come from India. Indonesians tend to use the small red onions, shallots, bawang merah. And the garlic is called bawang putih because, of course, garlic is putih for white, merah for red. The bawang merah is the one they really use, so the little red shallots, but they can be quite expensive and I don't usually have those in my cupboard, so I usually just use the red onion and your chicken. And this ends up making a much healthier option, but the other one is also very delicious and very quick and easy to make. And by the time you've added your vegetables and your chicken, it's also not too bad health-wise, really. Baiklah, enjoy.